And tonight we have two teams trying to get back in some winning ways before the tournament starts. OCC basketball tonight here on the campus of Mansfield Senior High School. It's the Knights versus the Tigers on the OH Report right here next.
Hi, I'm John Mark Young, a financial advisor and owner with Whitaker Myers Wealth Managers. Whitaker Myers Group has been a local trusted advisor since 1869, serving families in Ashland, Richland, and Wayne counties. We believe in the financial freedom and power of living debt-free. With offices in Ashland, Mansfield, Worcester, Columbus, and South Carolina, we have advisors that are ready to help you begin your journey to financial success. Visit our website at www.whitakerwealth.com to learn more and schedule a meeting.
Lender, craftsman, dog dad. We're more than our job titles, and you're more than an account number. The personal attention we provide comes from a promise to serve you with respect and compassion. By being responsive to your questions and taking time to understand your needs and goals, we give you more than just a place to bank. That's the more you can expect from Park National Bank. Find John or a banker near you at parknationalbank.com. Park National Bank, where you mean more.
And welcome in everyone to Pete Henry Gymnasium as the 8 and 9 Mansfield Senior Tigers welcome in the West Holmes Knights, who are standing at 13 and 6. And I am Effie James alongside my partner, the legend.
Here we go again.
The legend, the former state coach of the year, the basketball coaching legend, Gregg Collins is my partner tonight. I'm so honored to have him. Coach, both these teams are playing on the back end of a double weekend and just trying to get their feet under them. What do you think? West Holmes played Madison last night and got a win at home, while the Tigers played Ashland and went down after a pretty good game by the Tigers last night. What do you think they're trying to get established tonight?
Well, it's going to be interesting because, as you remember from the coaching days, those back-to-back in conference are tough.
Yeah.
How do you prepare for the Saturday night opponent? Do you spend some time throughout the week, or do you wait until Saturday morning and a walkthrough? Well, especially for senior high, who has an opponent on Friday night, Ashland, who's one of the better teams in our area, you better spend as much time as you can to prepare for them if you even want to just be in the basketball game.
Right.
I'm not sure how Coach Sykes handled that. I'm not sure how I would have handled that. But either way, they have to get back up this morning. And, you talk about in some sports you have the 24-hour rule. Mm-hmm. Well, here you have about the 8-hour rule. Get a sleep and get up and prepare for the opponent of that night, because this is a big game.
Absolutely. And we're going to go over, we've got a head coach's interview by our sideline guru, Mr. Brian Skowronski, who had a interview with Coach Sykes just before tip-off.
Tigers head coach Marquis Sykes is with me right now, and obviously it's a big deal tonight because you're dressed up, you said, for the first time in a year. So tell me about the significance of senior night and what it means to you and your program.
Senior night is always a big deal, especially in a pandemic, year. This is incredible for us to even get to this point of the season. We had weeks where we didn't think we'd get to this point. So it's a celebration tonight. Big ups to our seniors. Those guys have worked their tails off to get to this point of the season. They've done great things throughout their career. So we're going to celebrate them tonight. Our guys are going to go out here and take the floor in honor of them, and hopefully we give our best effort.
This is a historic, prideful program, Coach. So when I ask you this question, it might sound weird, but a win tonight puts you in 3rd place in the OCC. A loss drops you to 5th. How much cachet do you put into that?
A lot. Every time we step out here on the floor, we want to win the basketball game. So the expectation is for our guys to come out here and give their best effort. Us as coaches, my coaching staff, we're going to put these guys in the best position to win the basketball game, and hopefully we go out here and execute the game plan.
To make it easy on my guys, Effie and Gregg, what's the key tonight?
What's up, fellas? The keys tonight, we've got to locate their shooters. We have to be patient offensively, and defensively, we have to just be solid, not make any mistakes, not reach, not gamble, because they'll look to they'll take their time offensively, and they'll look to move the ball around the perimeter and wait for us to make a mistake. So we just have to be solid and not gamble and not reach. And if we do those things, we'll have a competitive game.
All right, well, there you have it, gentlemen. Those are the keys to success tonight for the Tigers, and good luck to you, Coach, here on senior night.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
Okay, and we are back as we get ready for the starting lineups for tonight. And Coach, last night, as we talked about, West Holmes got a win against a Madison team who actually was streaking. They had won their last couple conference games, and West Holmes played well against them last night. So they are coming in, and you can kind of see as we watch them get announced here, they've got a little bounce to them tonight.
I have not seen them play. I'm interested to hear your comments about the game last night. But looking at their scores, they played a lot of close basketball games. They've been very successful at 13-6. They've been very successful. I've been told that the coach has done an outstanding job with these guys. They are maybe not as athletic as Mansfield Senior is, but they are strong, hardworking young men that make things work.
5'9" senior Shad Kramer.
I don't know if people can hear me or not.
Number 21, 6'6" senior D'Angelo Chapman.
Well, right now the Tigers are getting introduced to the starting lineups. It is senior night here tonight. The last regular season, anyway, home game for the Tigers. And Coach Sykes, as he talked about in the interview, he really wants to he really wants to send his seniors out on a good note tonight. So with this being senior night, you know, they want to play well. They want to have a really good game here as their last regular season home game, more than likely their last game. And let's quickly go over the keys to tonight.
All righty. And you saw West Holmes play last night, so it'll be interesting, you know, what you have to say about it. But I think from watching Mansfield Senior, shot selection is going to be a key. At times they put up some questionable shots. Each time down the court, if you heard Marquise Sykes' interview in pregame, you know, he talked about shot selection. You know, they need to get each possession a good look at the basket, and, you know, it's not always going to go in, but get a good look at the basket. With that, they need to limit their turnovers. Last night, too many possessions, they just gave up the basketball. And the other one is, you know, I think they have a size athletic advantage. That's a big key right there for Maurice Ware to start off the game with a 3. But they have a size advantage, I think an athletic advantage. I think they need to take advantage on the offensive boards.
Yeah, and Maurice Ware knocking down that early 3 is a good sign. Maurice shooting right around 25% from the three-point line. So if he is able to knock down some 3 perimeter shots, that's going to open things up for his game. West Holmes comes into tonight 5-5 in the conference, just like the Tigers. And they are coming off a win against Madison last night, where the guy with the ball right now, Blake Morrison, had 23 points with the pass inside to Zach Stair, no good. And Chad Kramer comes away with the rebound.
Good defense on the first possession by Senior High. And that shot by Shad, I think that's his best shot. Off the dribble, 15 feet or so in. He's hard to guard, and I think that's a good look when Shad can get that shot off the dribble.
Absolutely. And right out front, we get an early foul against Miles Bradley. As we take a look here at the starting lineups for the Tigers, Shad Kramer, Miles Bradley, Maurice Ware, Anthony Pearson, and D'Angelo Chapman. And for West Holmes, Blake Morrison, Josh Schrock, Garrett Estep, Zach Stair, and Peyton McKinney.
So we have the 3 seniors starting for Mansfield Senior. I don't know Anthony Pearson. He started a couple of games, but usually he's a player that comes off the bench. Right. It'd be nice to get him some good looks. Certainly he's their best three-point shooter.
Right.
He's got great form. If he can get some open looks, that's just going to be key.
Right. He is the only Tiger shooting over 30% from 3. So he is, you know, their best three-point shooter percentage-wise. And he's one. He takes good shots for the most part. He will get his feet set, and he can knock some shots down. And as West Holmes here in their deliberate offense here, a lot of 5-out, pass and cut. And Blake Morrison, as we spoke of earlier, had 23 points last night, passes over to Zach Stair, misses everything on the shot, and Maurice Ware with the rebound, and he is on the run down the right side. And the ball is hit by Zach Stair, and we're going to get a foul there on Zach Stair as we watch the replay. Maurice Ware comes down strong.
And that's his strength. You know, I think driving baseline, taking the ball to the basket. Now, last night he had a difficult time early in finishing. In the second half, he did a little bit better job finishing. But certainly his last couple of games, if you look at his statistics, were not Maurice Ware stats. Right. You know, he's been struggling a little bit. So hopefully he can get over that tonight as they finish the season and get ready for tournament time.
Right, and Maurice splits the pair there. He makes 1 of 2. Tigers ahead 4-0, 5 minutes, 51 seconds to play here in the first quarter. West Holmes with the basketball against this Tiger 2-2-1 full court pressure. And Blake Morrison gets the ball out top to start the offense.
You know, as they are very deliberate down here on offense, which we expected them to be, I think we're going to have a graphic at some time tonight, and we'll show you the standings, at least the top of the standings. But this is a big game. This
Absolutely.
is for third place in the conference.
And a big 3 by Blake Morrison puts the Knights on the board. It's 4-3. Tigers with the lead, 5:15 to go in the first quarter. Maurice Ware with a 3 of his own, no good. Rebound, Morrison, and he gets up the court fairly quickly against the Tigers and pulls it out Peyton McKinney for three, and that's just off the rim, and that's going to roll out of bounds. So West Holmes taking advantage of a numbers situation. They will shoot quick. Last night against Madison, they had some opportunities where they did get out in transition, but for the most part, I think against the Tigers, they're going to want to be a little bit more deliberate and really look for a good shot.
I think so. They average 53 points a game. Defensively, they're giving up 51 points, which shows you how close games they are playing, which is, only a 2-point difference when you have a 13-6 record. Is you played a lot of close, low-scoring basketball games in the conference.
And Anthony Pearson just misses a three from the left corner. And Schrock comes down with the rebound. Pass inside goes to Peyton Miller, and it is up and good for three. West Holmes takes the lead here 5-4 with 4 minutes, 20 seconds to play in the first quarter. Shad Kramer with the spin move in the lane. Beautiful teardrop by Shad Kramer in the lane, and it is 6-5. And the Tigers drop back now into their man-to-man defense.
And, it's so difficult. The longer the offense moves the basketball and has good player movement, what they're having, it's hard to play defense. Here, another nice cut from the backside.
Right, Garrett Estep with the cut and a turnover by the Tigers. And that time Miller misses the lay-in, but Garrett Estep, and that was a little bit of flex action that time. Estep got open underneath the basket. D'Angelo Chapman for three, and it is good.
You don't think of him as a three-point shooter. He hit a big one last Saturday against last Friday, I guess it was, against Lexington. Hit another couple against Madison. Hit one last night. He's been shooting pretty well from the outside.
Yeah, he shoots a decent percentage. He doesn't shoot that many of them, but he's right around over 40%, but he doesn't shoot that many of them.
No, he doesn't.
But he is, you can tell, he's got a nice stroke.
I just would like to see him get a little bit more aggressive inside, and because he is such a good athlete.
Garrett Estep knocks down the three and puts the Knights up 10-9. 3 minutes to play here in the first quarter. And Anthony Pearson on the drive on the baseline kicks out to Kramer.
There's good ball movement.
Right over to Maurice Ware for the wing three, and it is up and no good. Rebound comes down to Blake Morrison.
Quick ball reversal right there would be a great time to dribble penetrate. It's tough to close out under control on ball reversal, going from help side to ball side. And, use that and get to the paint.
Turnover, just a steal, great steal that time by D'Angelo Chapman, who just took the ball away from Peyton McKinney. And Maurice Ware has the ball now on the left wing. Kicks it over to Shad Kramer on the right wing for three, no good. Rebound comes off to Peyton McKinney. And Blake Morrison has the ball in the front court for the Knights. Morrison drives and gets stuck there. Peyton Miller up and under the rim, no good. Maurice Ware with the rebound. And Shad Kramer with the ball on the move kicks out to Miles Bradley, who's going to drive strong in the lane, kick out to Kramer for a three, no good.
Yeah, a good look.
And great hustle that time as it looked like a sure easy lay-in for Josh Schrock, but Shad Kramer sprints down, as you can see on the replay. Kramer sprints down and gets the block, knocks the ball out of bounds, and West Holmes will retain possession. So great hustle.
He started that by a shot in the deep corner.
Right.
So, yeah, that was great hustle and great closing speed, too.
And Miller on the drive with the right hand, no good. Amon Thomas, who's checked in the ball game, gathers the rebound. Chunky Haney with the pull-up jumper, and it is good. Tigers lead 11-10. 1 minute, 33 seconds to play here in the first quarter.
Now, I tell you, Chunky Haney is becoming slowly my favorite Tiger. I mean, he just plays hard all the time, has hit some big baskets this year, especially as of late.
Turnover that time as McKinney throws an errant pass, and it's Chunky Haney on the run. Another pull-up jumper for Chunky, and this time's no good. And Morrison comes away with the rebound. And Morrison decides to slow it down a bit, and like you said, Chunky Haney plays with a lot of energy.
He gives you a lot of ball pressure on defense, and offensively he loves to push the ball. And look at his size. He's also a rebounder.
Peyton McKinney for three, and it is good. Puts the Knights ahead by two, 13-11 with 45 seconds to play here in the first quarter. Shad Kramer with the drive inside, no good. McKinney with the rebound, and the West Holmes Knights have a 2-point lead with just over 30 seconds to play in the first quarter.
Well, you look at Peyton McKinney out there, number 33, and it looks like he's probably the biggest young man out there for West Holmes.
Nice back cut by Blake Morrison, who I think that time took advantage of Chunky Haney's aggressiveness and back cut him there at the top of the key for the lay-in. It is 15-11 with 12 seconds to play in the first quarter. West Holmes is leading the Tigers. Chunky Haney with 5 seconds to play over to Maurice Ware, down to 1 second. I'm not sure if he knows it. He doesn't. Nope. He does not get the shot off. And at the end of one, West Holmes Knights lead the Tigers 15-11. And we're going to step away and take a break. You are watching boys high school basketball live and free on the OH Report.
Lender, craftsman, dog dead. We're more than our job titles, and you're more than an account number. The personal attention we provide comes from a promise to serve you with respect and compassion. By being responsive to your questions and taking time to understand your needs and goals, we give you more than just a place to bank. That's the more you can expect from Park National Bank. Find John or a banker near you at parknationalbank.com. Park National Bank, where you mean more.
Hi, I'm John Mark Young, a financial advisor and owner with Whitaker Myers Wealth Managers. We believe in the financial freedom and power of living debt-free. Visit our website at www.whitakerwealth.com to learn more and schedule a meeting.
And welcome back to Pete Henry Gymnasium, and the West Holmes Knights are leading 15-11, and they have possession. Blake Morrison goes up strong, no good. He gathers his own rebound, and Coach West Holmes has come to play this evening.
Yeah, they're playing hard, that's for sure.
And turnover that time, D'Angelo Chapman gathers the rebound, and Maurice Ware is on the run down the right wing. Ware kicks out to D'Angelo Chapman for a three from the corner, and it is no good and bounces out of bounds. And that's the same place that D'Angelo had made a three earlier, so he's certainly comfortable from that spot. That time it was just a little short.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier about Peyton McKinney, 33, probably it looks like the biggest young man for West Holmes. He has shot this year close to 40 more threes than he has twos. So even though with his size and D'Angelo Chapman defending him, hey, you better be ready for him out on the perimeter. He's gonna shoot the three. You better have a good hand up, hips down, and contest the shots.
We had an offensive foul that time on Zach Stair. We had, I think it was an illegal moving screen. And every so often, West Holmes, who is really an open offense, every so often they'll run a set. And that time they were trying to run a rub play off the top of the key. And Zach Stair just wasn't set when he set the screen and got called for the offensive foul. That's his second here in the first quarter. Tigers have possession. Chunky Haney with 15-foot jumper, no good. Blake Morrison comes down with the rebound, and he's looking to push the ball. D'Angelo Chapman runs him down from the back and tips it out of bounds.
Another example of good hustle coming from behind, getting a little flick.
Yeah, and a lot of times, Coach, when you're a pressure team, that's a lot of kids don't realize that's where you're going to get the majority of your steals by sprinting back.
Exactly. That's why a lot of teams, they chart that. Not just steals, but every time you get a hand on the ball defensively.
And the ball is kicked out of bounds, and West Holmes will retain possession. 15-11, the West Holmes Knights in the lead. 6 minutes, 44 seconds to play here in the second quarter here at Pete Henry Gymnasium. And DeAndre Thomas gets lost on the outside out of bounds play and scores an easy layup. 17-11, West Holmes over the Tigers. 6 minutes and 30 seconds to play in the second quarter.
You were talking about set plays. Well, that was a set out of bounds play with a back screen and, just wide open getting to the basket.
That time, D'Angelo Chapman caught the pass from Chunky Haney off great penetration, and he finished 17-13. The Knights now lead the Tigers here in the second quarter.
You saw West Holmes last night,
yes.
So your opinion, but I still think this pace favors senior high.
I
Would you?
agree.
Okay.
I agree. As Maurice Ware with the Euro step, he gets hit but no call, and the West Holmes Knights here are on the run. And another tip out of bounds, but I certainly agree with you, Coach. You know, even though right now they're playing well, but in the long run, I think this pace, this tempo, works in the Tigers' favor over time. And I think Coach Hall understands that, you know, and I think he's trying to be opportunistic from time to time.
Right.
I don't think he wants to play this way the whole time, but he understands that he doesn't want to get into this track meet with the Tigers here.
Now, early in the year, they were only playing 6, maybe 7 guys, West Holmes. Lately, they played, what, you said 8 last night?
Right, they played 8 last night. And 3 is up by Garrett Estep and no good. And Chad Kramer gets the rebound with the spin move, drive to the lane, up and in on the left side. Chad Kramer.
You know, he's got that move down tonight. He feels comfortable with it, and that's not an easy move. He makes it look easy, but that's not an easy move.
Right. And Kramer has 4 points tonight as the Tigers are in their zone, and Peyton Miller drives the lane with the right hand and scores, and that is 4 points for Miller. Knights ahead 19-15, 5 minutes and 13 seconds to play in the second quarter. Miles Bradley drives, kicks out to Chunky Haney, who finds Bradley inside, who finds Amon Thomas inside, misses the lay-in, and the ball's tipped out of bounds by West Holmes, and the Tigers will retain possession.
And that's what we saw a lot of last night. That was some great interior passing, very unselfish players, just not able to finish when they had the advantage inside.
Right. That time turnover, bad pass that time by Haney and West Holmes, and you can see now Coach Hall screams out to his point guard, wait a minute, slow it down here.
Well, again, I think, you know, the longer they can make senior high or any team play defense, kids don't want to play defense.
Right,
you don't practice defense in the park or in the driveway. The longer, you know, and again, without a shot clock, the longer you can make that defense work, you know, the more chances you're going to get, the better chances you're going to get, better looks you're going to get.
Absolutely. That time we had a quick foul by Miles Bradley. West Holmes took it side out of bounds. They look inside. DeAndre Thomas up and good. He is fouled on the shot by Anthony Pearson. And, again, that is one of those set plays. We look at the replay, just a pin on the backside by Thomas. He gets the mismatch on Chad Kramer. They throw it over the top, and he takes the contact and puts it in.
And you were talking about this before we got on air tonight about how West Holmes will post different players up, and, you know, their biggest player might not post up much at all. Again, McKinney shoots more threes.
Right.
So they're going to post up other players. Teams that do that have such an advantage because there's so limited practice time. So often you don't have time to have your guards practice post defense.
Right. And free throws up and no good. West Holmes gets an offensive rebound but can't cash in on the easy layup. Chad Kramer's on the run. His layup is up and good, and West Holmes Knights are on the run. Peyton Miller sprinting down the lane, and they're going to call a palming violation on Miller, who was driving the lane. And, Coach, I don't know about you, but I still just can't get used to kids being in the middle of the lane and kicking outside for threes.
I was just going to mention that. Times have changed.
Yes,
you know, you have a 3-on-1, you think it's an easy 2, but you'd rather take a chance and hit a 3.
Right.
Now, if you have Stephon Curry, that's something different. But
right. Chad Kramer with the right wing 3 short, and Peyton Miller gathers the rebound. And West Holmes is going to slow it down. Looks like they're trying to set up another set here. Miller with the drive, and he took a tough spill. He took some contact there on the drive, and he's going to be fouled. I think they're going to get D'Angelo Chapman, which is going to be his first, and the Tigers' 4th team foul of the first half. And, you know, right now, Coach, it looks like West Holmes is being really aggressive on the dribble. They're not, you know, being as fast. They're not playing with much tempo. But when they see an opening in the lane, they're putting their head down and they're driving.
yeah, and is this the same way they played last night?
Pretty much it is.
Well, they've been successful this year at 12-6 or 13-6. So, you know, they're probably not going to change a lot as they approach tournament time.
Now that time they tried to again pin DeAndre Thomas that time, and the lob just didn't work that time, so it was a turnover for West Holmes.
Looks like a set play by Senior High right now.
And Maurice Ware out to Chunky Haney. They swing it around. Good ball movement over to Shad Kramer, who finds Haney on the right wing for a corner three. No good, and the ball is tipped out of bounds as two Tigers go for the rebound, and West Holmes is going to take over possession.
Yeah, I'm sure if you're Coach Sykes, you're not upset with two people being aggressive.
Right.
Yeah, you're frustrated you didn't get the offensive rebound, but it's not because of lack of effort on that.
And West Holmes out front now. It's Raymond Miller inside, and they're going to call an offensive foul as Maurice Ware stepped in and took the offensive foul. As we take a look at this replay, what do you think, Coach?
I think it was a good call. I think even if it was college and pro with the circle, I think he would have been outside the circle.
Absolutely.
I think he stepped in and took one for the team. And
yeah, that's one of the things that's tough. You can get kids to step in, but you can't get them to take it right in the chest.
Exactly.
And that's what he done. He took
right.
that thing right in the chest, and that's why I think he got the call.
What people don't understand is you have to practice it.
Right.
Now, there's ways of practicing without hurting everybody,
right.
But you got to practice it. Kids got to feel comfortable to step in and take the charge.
Absolutely. West Holmes with the lead here, 21-15 over the Tigers, 2 minutes and 22 seconds to play here in the second quarter.
Things have slowed down a little bit this quarter, at least shooting-wise.
Yes, they have. And Bubba Hay is going to be called for an offensive foul. I think the off arm caught Chunky Haney right underneath the neck, and the referee was right there on top of the call. So that is first foul on Bubba Hay.
Hell, through the past senior high, we've had so many kids that can give such great defensive pressure. It frustrates you on offense.
Yes.
And that time the offensive player just got a little frustrated and, gave a little bit of his body. And that's, again, you have someone like Chunky Haney, which, again, I don't understand how it's chunky, but that's what he's good at.
Absolutely. And another offensive foul. That time, Maurice Ware with the off arm. And one of the West Holmes Knights, I think Bubba Hay, who just had the offensive foul called against him, he stepped in and took an offensive foul. So
now we've had, three offensive charges in the last 4 or 5 possessions.
Right. And these teams are playing physical, and with the tournament coming up, the tournament is always called a little bit more physical. So they're getting ready for that.
Especially as you advance, you better be ready.
Right. Jump shot inside for Thomas, no good. West Holmes gets the offensive rebound. Blake Morrison for 3, no good, and D'Angelo Chapman comes down with the rebound. And
I don't think we've had a stoppage in play much this quarter.
No, we haven't. Maurice Ware with a corner 3, no good. DeAndre Thomas comes down with the rebound. He's being harassed, gets it out to Blake Morrison, passes it ahead to Josh Schrock, who pulls it out for West Holmes.
And I think if you're West Holmes, you're thinking if we can keep Maurice Ware in the perimeter, that's a win.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he knocked down his first 3, but statistics say that his strength is getting the ball to the basket.
Absolutely. And West Holmes looking to get it inside. DeAndre Thomas now with the ball on the block against D'Angelo Chapman. And they're going to call a travel now against Bubba Hay, who caught the ball and just never really set his feet. He just kind of shuffled there on the catch.
Well, with 1 minute to go in the quarter, the score is, a 6-4 quarter. So things have slowed down quite a bit from the first period.
Right. West Holmes still leading 21-15, under a minute to play. Tigers with possession. Shad Kramer, right corner 3 is up and no good. Bubba Hay comes down with the rebound. And Bubba's going to handle the basketball here, and West Holmes is content to run a play, but Bubba Hay sees opening in the lane, gets cut off by Miles Bradley. Now it's Josh Schrock out front. Post inside to McKinney, up and no good. One of the few post moves that time, and they're going to catch the Tigers on an out-of-bounds violation. They're going to say Shad Kramer did not establish himself inside, before he gathered the basketball.
Yeah, I know that was close. Yeah, that is a tough. That was close, but
yeah, that's a tough call. But 22 seconds to play, and the Knights are up 21-15 here in the second quarter.
I would be surprised if, they get a turnover. I thought they were going to go for the last shot, but Senior High gets the turnover.
Maurice Ware with the Euro step in the lane, takes some contact, goes up strong, and he's going to head to the line for two. And he got hit that time by DeAndre Thomas in the lane. And, like you said, Coach, that is where Maurice Ware is at his best.
Yeah.
Out in transition, driving the lane.
If he can, and he does the Euro step, so often he can avoid the offensive charge. But he does get his share, but that, he takes it in strong, and generally teams are trying to take that away, so they're going to bring help side when they get a chance. Now, last night, Coach, Senior High was 2 for 10 from the free throw line. Wow. They lose the game by 10 points, and one of the big problems was free throw shooting.
Maurice Ware misses the back end of those 2 free throws. 4 seconds to play. Peyton McKinney is having trouble. Maurice Ware knocks it away. Blake Morrison for the long 3 at the end of the half, and no good. That is halftime here at Pete Henry Gym, where the West Holmes Knights lead the Tigers 21-16. We're going to take a break and come back. You are watching boys high school basketball live and free on the OH Report.
Lender, craftsman, dog dead. We're more than our job titles, and you're more than an account number. The personal attention we provide comes from a promise to serve you with respect and compassion. By being responsive to your questions and taking time to understand your needs and goals, we give you more than just a place to bank. That's the more you can expect from Park National Bank. Find John or a banker near you at parknationalbank.com. Park National Bank, where you mean more.
Hi, I'm John Mark Young, a financial advisor and owner with Whitaker Myers Wealth Managers. Whitaker Myers Group has been a local trusted advisor since 1869, serving families in Ashland, Richland, and Wayne counties. We believe in the financial freedom and power of living debt-free. With offices in Ashland, Mansfield, Worcester, Columbus, and South Carolina, we have advisors that are ready to help you begin your journey to financial success. Visit our website at www.whitakerwealth.com to learn more and schedule a meeting.
And welcome back to Pete Henry Gymnasium as West Holmes leads the Tigers 21-16 here at the half. And let's take a look at the halftime stats. West Holmes shooting a cold 3 for 17 from the field, as Mansfield Senior is 8 of 18. Yeah, these are. I apologize. Yeah, I was gonna say like that's not right. So excuse those stats as we kind of just talk about how this first half has went, Coach. We were, we expected West Holmes to be a little bit deliberate, and they have been.
But with that being, Mansfield has forced 10 turnovers. I'm sure Coach Sykes is saying, hey, we're happy with that. Right. But are they able to convert any of those turnovers into easy baskets at the other end? And the answer is, if they are, maybe it's one. The biggest key. We talked about offensive rebounding, and you know better than me. From your days of playing. Senior high has always been known to me.
Absolutely.
Great point guards, offensive rebound. They are willing and able to get on the boards.
Yes.
Tonight, they are 6 of 25 from the field, so that's a lot of misses.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
But only 2 offensive rebounds.
Yeah.
And, some games they're up at 10 or 11, 12, 13. Other games they're down at, the numbers like we have right here, 1 or 2. So they're not getting that second chance opportunity. And, I know West Holmes has run out a little bit, but I still don't see them as a, let's say, a Lima Senior or a Sandusky that's, you got to really get back on defense. You can do both. Right. You can certainly do both. But to me, 2 offensive rebounds when you're shooting, just around 25% from the field, they need to do a better job of that. Also, out of those 25 shots that Senior High has taken, 12 are threes. I just don't think that's their strength.
Right.
They got a couple of guys that have a great stroke, and but overall as a team, I think they're better if they're being aggressive. Now, if that means 1 ball reversal, that means 2, that means 3, so be it. I think we're seeing that some from West Holmes, where they're using some ball reversal, some people movement, some ball movement, and when the defense has a little breakdown, they're going to take advantage and dribble penetrate.
Right, and I agree with you, Coach, about the offensive rebounds. They're a team on the season as a whole, field goal-wise, they're shooting right around 39%.
Right.
So with that as your shooting percentage, there, like you said, there's a lot of missed shots to go around.
Right.
You have, I know as a former Tiger player myself, I was convinced that the only way I played with some point guards that shot a lot.
Right.
So I was convinced the only way I could score is to get offensive rebounds, and that has been the mentality here. And Coach, we're getting the sign that it's your time to shine.
Oh yeah. Now this is my big idea. All righty, and I had to talk Adam into it, but hey, we have the Summer and Winter Olympics coming up here, so I said, hey, let's call this the bronze medal game. All righty, as you said, chance to get on the podium.
Absolutely.
Chance to get that bronze medal if you can come in 3rd place. Well, if you look at the standings right here, and I'll tell you, if you had asked me before the season, I wouldn't have been close to this right here. But Worcester at 11-1 obviously won the conference. Ashland at 10-2, 2nd place. Well, right here we have 2 teams, Mansfield and West Holmes. The winner of this game will be 6-5 and will be a half a game over Mount Vernon.
Right.
Since this is the only matchup between Senior and West Holmes is tonight. They're not going to make up the other game. So the winner will be 3rd place. And when you're talking about a 7-team, 7-school league, 3rd place sounds a lot better than 5th.
Absolutely. And, like we said, that's a spot on the podium. And as Coach Marquis Sykes said before the game, they, right now at this point, they were relish this win. And, as we look at these that standings, it's amazing. Just a couple weeks ago, the Tigers were at Worcester playing for what, in essence, could have been a share of the lead just 2 weeks ago.
Right.
They lose the game by 3, playing with 6. And so, you know, how things have changed in the course of 2 weeks. And as we take a look here at the Ashland District Division II district brackets here, and Coach, with the tournaments coming up, and the Tigers here will more than likely play Ontario, but they will play the winner of the Ontario and Bellevue game next Tuesday. What do you think how do you think this bracket's going to play out?
I don't know what we have up on the picture up there. Does that
what we're going to get? These are the second round teams, and what we're going to get.
I
Shelby
see. We don't have the first round.
Yeah,
I see.
Shelby's going to play the winner of Vermilion and Lex.
Well, you know, you got to remember that our producer Adam, he went to Mount Vernon.
Right.
They're kind of in the outskirts of, you know, not good enough to be in Richland County.
Easy now. I got my undergrad degree from Mount Vernon.
Well, I know you're a NAS boy.
So,
I know that.
So easy with the Mount Vernon joke.
But then you had the sense to come back.
Right.
So, I did. But you're right. I mean, Ontario obviously is going to be a heavy favorite at home against Bellevue, and it looks like Senior High is going to have to travel back to Ontario, where last week they lost by 10 or 11 points.
Right,
so at least they're familiar with the team, the opponent, and the place they're playing.
And as we open up the third quarter, D'Angelo Chapman knocks down a 15-foot jumper and cuts the lead down to 3. West Holmes 21, Tigers 18. Just starting here in the third quarter.
Now, the problem with that, Effie, is, you know, that was a set play. They ran some flex that Coach Sykes called out of the halftime. But unfortunately, unlike some sports, he can't call a timeout every time they get the ball and draw up a set play. So.
And the West Holmes Knights get an offensive rebound, and Garrett Estep puts it up and in. The Knights still with the lead, 23-18, 7 minutes to play. Anthony Pearson with the long 3 is short. D'Angelo Chapman with the offensive board puts it up and in.
There we go.
There's the offensive rebounds we were talking about.
Exactly. You know, if they can catch fire this second half and get on the offensive boards. Now, generally, a long shot's a long rebound, but that shot kind of hit right there between the backboard and the rim and just fell right into D'Angelo's hands.
Right. And West Holmes here running their set offense. And I will tell you, Coach, as we see Morrison on the curl screen up and in, this is more offense or set offense so far in this first half and piece of a quarter. They ran more offense now than they ran all game against Madison last night.
Well, you know, it's been successful. They're, you know, off the ball, their movement has been very good.
This time they get a turnover, and Blake Morrison drives the length of the court, puts it up and in. The Knights now lead by 7, 27-20, 6 minutes, 10 seconds to play here in the third quarter. Shad Kramer goes up strong on the right side. That shot was partially blocked. He's inside again. That one gets blocked, and the rebound goes to Pearson, but he was standing out of bounds when the ball came to him. And Coach Sykes doesn't like what he's seeing here in the early stage of the third quarter, and he's going to take a timeout. And
you know, it started off great, you know, with an offensive rebound. It's, you know, I'm sure it's something that Coach Sykes talked about at halftime, being a little bit more aggressive on the boards, and they were. But then West Holmes just comes right back and attacks them. And, again, I you know, West Holmes, you were talking about 5 out. Weak side is getting a lot of ball movement. Now, it's pretty consistent. It's cutting to the ball, and if they don't get it, going back door. But if one player falls asleep, and it seems like one player is falling asleep or maybe just getting caught up in the congestion of players, well, they're making a good pass in for a too easy of a bunny. I would like to see a little bit better pressure on the ball to make it a little tougher to pass, and then you have to get back into weak side help.
West Holmes throws the ball out of bounds, throws a deep ball that time to Blake Morrison, gets it underneath, and it's a scrum for the basketball. And I think they're going to get Miles Bradley with the foul, but that time I think they caught the Tigers sleeping. As we see the replay, and Miles Bradley was underneath by himself, and Zach Stair missed the shot. But Garrett Estep is going to get fouled, and he'll go to the line, shooting 2.
I like what Coach Sykes was doing. I think they need to get a little bit more life into it, so bring it up to a little bit of full court pressure. West Holmes did a nice job of connecting on the inbounds pass and getting the ball to the basket. But, yeah, you're trying to get a little life into your team. I think you do it at the defensive end just to get a little bit more energy, and maybe that will help them offensively push the ball a little bit more.
Absolutely. Garrett Estep is at the line for 2. He knocks down his first one. He's lining up on the right side for a second, and it's up and good. West Holmes now leads 29-20, 5 minutes, 55 seconds to play here in the third quarter.
And for two teams that don't score a heck of a lot of points, a 9-point lead is big. Now every possession is going to count.
Chad Kramer over to D'Angelo Chapman.
Nice
who
pass.
Scores, and D'Angelo Chapman has come alive here in the second half. He's got 3 straight buckets, and he is now the leading scorer for the Tigers with 11 points. West Holmes now leads 29-22.
And Chad Kramer did a real nice job.
And Peyton McKinney with the left wing 3, no good. Chad Kramer with the rebound.
And that was an aggressive rebound. It wasn't an easy one. There we go.
Maurice Ware out in front of everybody with a nice move along the baseline. And the Tigers cut the lead to 5, 29-24. And the Tigers are now in their full court pressure. And a steal that time by Chucky Haney, but he bounced it out of bounds. But like you said, Coach, Coach Sykes wants to get the tempo changed. Doesn't like the energy that his team is playing with.
And Chad Kramer, especially down here, I mean, he had to fight for that rebound, and then he kept his head up. And the Tigers were running, kept his head up, and got Maurice where Maurice Ware could just get it and drive right away to his strength where the defense wasn't set.
All right. Tigers with the basketball. Chad Kramer with the spin move on the left side. Shots up and no good. D'Angelo Chapman keeps it alive. Miles Bradley is up, and he gets fouled. And D'Angelo Chapman, Coach, as all over the offensive board. He kept that one alive that time. Miles Bradley goes to the offensive board. So you can see the Tigers, I think Marquise saw what we saw.
Either
they're attacking the offensive
Either
glass.
Marquise or one of the other coaches, I don't know what they did. Talk to him, kick him in the butt. I don't know, whatever it is, but, bottle that, and
right.
You're going to keep it for the tournament. And But, yeah, he's come out with a lot of energy. I think Chad's come out with energy. I think he now is playing with some energy. Now, Miles Bradley always seems to play with some energy.
Right.
I mean, he's not the tallest man in there, but he will fight. And that's and I know you'd know better than me. Brian Harder says he's an outstanding football player,
Yes.
and that's his mentality of just he just has a nose. He goes for the ball.
Yeah, Miles Bradley knocks down both free throws. Knights lead 29-26, and a turnover. And it's going to go back to the Tigers. And you're right, Coach. Miles Bradley is one of those kids, and you know this, Coach. Sometimes when you're in a game and you're trying to decide who to play, you go with the guy that you trust, the guy who's going to play hard,
right.
The guy who's going to know what you're trying to get done. And he's a coach's son, so, he's a kid that's going to be in the right places and give you all the effort that you need. Chad Kramer with the drive out to Bradley. He kicks it back out to Kramer, who's got 2 guys, and it looks like West Holmes went to a 2-3 zone. Kramer pulls up. No good, but again, D'Angelo Chapman back tips it out. He gets the jump shot from the left side, and the Tigers all over the offensive board now.
And that's what you like to see. They're getting a hand up on it, and you like to see that effort.
And the West Holmes crowd didn't like the call. They thought the ball went out of bounds.
Well, maybe not, but if you look directly across from you at the top row, do you see the gentleman reading a book?
I do.
It didn't matter to him either way.
He could care less. He could care less.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It didn't faze him.
Tigers, Anthony Pearson, left side 3 is no good. Blake Morrison comes down with the rebound for the West Holmes Knights. The Knights with the lead by 3, 29-26, 4 minutes to play here in the third quarter.
And good pressure. They're playing good pressure man-to-man right now and maybe pushing West Holmes out a little bit. West Holmes still going with their 5 out. Again, and great defense right there. Good pressure on the ball, good steal.
Junkie Haney with the floater, and the Tigers cut the lead to 1, 29-28. And that was like you said, Coach. Here's my guy reading his book, but like you said, Coach, the pressure on the ball was the difference that time.
And great hustle by Chad Kramer. Now, the last shot by Chunky Haney. Now, Effie, you wouldn't know how difficult that is because you're always tall.
Right.
All righty. But here's a 5'7" man. You got to be creative.
Yes.
And that was a creative shot. Got the ball up, as Rafferty would say, kiss off the backboard.
Yes. And West Holmes goes inside. It's Garrett Estep who stops the bleeding for the Knights, gets the score, 31-28. West Holmes leads the Tigers with 3 minutes, 20 seconds to play. Anthony Pearson with the three, no good. Pearson struggling a little bit with his shot tonight.
Yeah, he is, but I don't have a problem with that.
Right.
I know it's early in the possession, but, you know, he had a good look, and he's a capable shooter, and that's what he's in for.
Right, exactly.
I mean, he's a shooter.
Peyton McKinney inside, bodies, strong move inside against Anthony Pearson.
And again, it was from a back cut from backside, and he got position and used his strength and went right up.
And I think Coach Hall has seen something in the Tiger defense that he can exploit, because they run that curl screen just about every time down here in the offensive set.
Exactly.
Shad Kramer in the left corner. He drives the lane, tries a bounce pass, and turns it over, and Peyton McKinney gathers that rebound, and it is Peyton Miller with the ball out front. Blake Morrison on the right wing gets it over to McKinney as the West Holmes Knights run that curl screen offense again.
And if you fall asleep, if you stand up and get caught staring at the ball, your man's going to cut open to the basket. We always talk about defensively, don't let a guy cut your face.
Right.
Make him cut behind you.
And Garrett Estep on the drive, loses it, gets his own rebound, and that time he is fouled on his way up, and he will shoot two. And he is fouled that time by Deion Crawford, who has checked into the basketball game for D'Angelo Chapman.
And West Holmes has done a nice job. I mean, Senior High had that momentum. They had a run going. And, you know, how do you stop the run? Well, you make some plays, you be scrappy, and they are a team. They work hard. I think they're a blue-collar basketball team.
Right.
And, you know, their success in the league is showing that.
And Garrett Estep gets to the line. He misses his first of two that time, but Estep just drove to the lane, missed his shot, and got his own rebound. And like you said, the best way to stop the bleeding is get to the free throw line and slow the tempo down a little bit, as Estep knocks down the second of his two free throws. And Coach Sykes doesn't wait long with D'Angelo Chapman on the bench. He jumps up and he comes right back in. He has been playing well here so far in the third quarter.
I'm sure he told D'Angelo, we want that. You remember that 2-minute spurt you had? That's what we want, baby.
Right.
We want that, you know, for all 8 minutes of the quarter.
Absolutely.
And when you need a break, let us know. We'll get you out. But just keep playing with that kind of effort, energy all the time.
Absolutely. West Holmes up 34-28, 1 minute, 40 seconds to play. Chunky Haney on the drive on the right side, up and in for the Tigers.
And I'm telling you, and we've done, I think, all home games. I've been to all but one. You know, you talk about playing hard with energy and effort. Chunky is one. They've got a couple. They've got a few, but he's one that always, I mean, he's
Absolutely.
always playing hard. He'll make mistakes like everybody. He's a sophomore, but it's not because of lack of effort.
You absolutely can take hard playing mistakes from a young guy. That's what you can take. DeAndre Thomas gets the ball inside, blocked away by Maurice Ware, and Miller comes away with the offensive rebound. His shot's no good. He gets another offensive rebound, and that time he is fouled, and they're going to get D'Angelo Chapman. And West Holmes fighting on the offensive boards as well, as they are trying to withstand this energy from the Tigers here in the third quarter.
And, you know, West Holmes are sending 3, sometimes 4 players are in there getting hand on the ball. If Senior High can get that rebound, they're going to have a great run-out opportunity. They're going to have numbers opportunity. But, again, you got to come down. Somebody's just got to go up and with authority and go up and grab it. And it's not easy when there's a lot of bodies banging on you.
Right. Peyton Miller knocks down the first shot. The second shot is up and good. West Holmes now leads by 6, 36-30. 1 minute to play here in the third quarter.
This lead was, I think the biggest lead was, at 9? So they cut into that lead, but the halftime lead was only 5.
Right.
So here they're Senior High running a little flex.
And off the set play, D'Angelo Chapman with the offensive rebound again off the Chunky Haney miss. And that time it was knocked away from D'Angelo, but Tigers will retain possession. Chunky Haney, left side three, up, no good. Miles Bradley with the offensive rebound. He gets it out to Shad Kramer. Top of the key three is no good. And Garrett Estep comes down with the rebound for the Knights. Peyton McKinney is on the run, looking to speed it up, and the ball's out of bounds off the Tigers, and West Holmes will retain possession.
It'll be interesting here with 24 seconds to go in the quarter. You know, West Holmes want to go for the last shot. Can Senior High's pressure force them into a turnover? Well, they get a backdoor cut.
Absolutely beautiful backdoor cut, and just as we say that, Coach, they take advantage of the aggressive play on the front side, and that was a called play by Coach Hall.
Right.
And they get the backdoor cut and the foul. That time, Peyton Miller takes the hit, puts it in off the glass. West Holmes 38, Tigers 30. 19 seconds to play as Peyton Miller is at the line for one.
Oh, I remember at the end of the first quarter it was 15-11, but it was a tempo where teams were shooting the ball pretty well. The next two quarters have slowed down quite a bit.
Another offensive rebound. DeAndre Thomas that time takes the ball away from Maurice Ware, and he will go to the line. And that's just got to be frustrating. That's just got to be frustrating. You have position, and I think the ball just tipped out of Maurice Ware's hands right into Thomas's hands.
So what do you do if you're Coach Sykes? Well, you bring in the freshman who has done a good job rebounding this year.
And you got to deal with what you're struggling with. And I know Amon Thomas has had some trouble finishing, but he has not had trouble rebounding.
No.
So, and that's where they're struggling with right now. They've got to be able to secure the rebounds in order to score. And DeAndre Thomas misses his second shot, and once again West Holmes gets another offensive rebound. And DeAndre Thomas drives the lane, and it is blocked away by D'Angelo Chapman. And Shad Kramer is on the run, and he's going to be called for an offensive foul. And again, West Holmes has got tremendous energy from the guys on the court and off the court right now as number 23, Peyton Miller, steps in and took that charge right in the chest, Coach.
And that was a big possession by Senior High. You would love to have scored there, obviously, and love to at least gotten a shot up. And now it's key, though, with 3.5 seconds. You can't let them get a good look at the basket.
Right. And the pass comes into West Holmes. 3 seconds to play, down to 1 second. Three is up and no good. The end of the third quarter, West Holmes lead 31-30 over the Tigers. We will step away and take a break. You are watching high school boys basketball live and free on the OH Report.
Lender, craftsman, dog dead. We're more than our job titles, and you're more than an account number. The personal attention we provide comes from a promise to serve you with respect and compassion. By being responsive to your questions and taking time to understand your needs and goals, we give you more than just a place to bank. That's the more you can expect from Park National Bank. Find John or a banker near you at parknationalbank.com. Park National Bank, where you mean more.
Hi, I'm John Mark Young, a financial advisor and owner with Whitaker Myers Wealth Managers. We believe in the financial freedom and power of living debt-free. Visit our website at www.whitakerwealth.com to learn more and schedule a meeting.
And we are back at Pete Henry Gymnasium at Mansfield Senior. West Holmes is leading the Tigers 38-30 as we begin the fourth quarter. And West Holmes, Coach, has found some things that they can do well. They have attacked the offensive boards here in the third quarter, and they're taking advantage.
Right. Remember early Senior High was doing a great job offensive rebounds. They got 8 that quarter, but West Holmes late. They got 8 that quarter. And nice pass.
The Tigers
nice run out.
On the run. Chunky Haney up and good. Pass from Shad Kramer in transition. Now that is a good transition fast break by the Tigers off of a missed shot.
And that was not an easy pass to make, but it was right to a streaking Chunky Haney.
Right. As we see that replay, the ball's threaded in there. Nice finish that time by Haney. And West Holmes now back to their offensive set. being patient, and there is Maurice Ware with a great pickpocket.
Oh, they call it
that
intentional.
Time intentional. And I'm going to tell you, Coach, I think that's a good call, and I'm surprised that that's not called more. Now normally officials would have just called that a regular foul, but he intentionally reached out and grabbed him so he wouldn't get a layup.
Right.
Now most officials wouldn't have called it that way in this situation, but I believe that's the right call.
Now, tell me, what was your record as a coach in changing the officials' minds? And I'm sure you had one or two calls that went against you in your years as the head coach.
I will tell you, coaches.
Did you ever win a battle?
As Maurice Ware knocks down the free throws, I will tell you, I never won one, but my strategy was different. I didn't want that one. I wanted them to remember that they owed me the next one.
Is that, yeah.
So
okay.
I never won that one,
yeah,
but I wanted them to get me the next one.
There you go.
So the Tigers with possession, down 4, West Holmes 38-34, 7 minutes, 9 seconds to play here in the fourth quarter. Tigers with possession.
Chance to really bump into that lead here.
Absolutely. Maurice Ware in trouble on the baseline, kicks it to Kramer, finds it underneath to Amon Thomas. A nice move inside, and he gets fouled, and that was great ball movement one side to another. Shad Kramer finds Thomas underneath.
And we were talking about that just between ourselves at halftime. When you're struggling shooting from the perimeter, and for the most part senior high has struggled this year, when you get a quick ball reversal, you might have the open three, but you also have long closeouts. Another chance to just dribble penetrate, and that's what Shad Kramer did. Ball reversal was a drive baseline kick to Shad Kramer out in the corner, opposite corner, and as the closeout is coming, he dribble penetrates into the paint, makes a nice pass, and hopefully Amon can finish at least one of those free throws. Well, unfortunately not.
He cannot. Thomas misses both that time, and Morrison comes down with the rebound, and he is going to be fouled in the backcourt. Shad Kramer is going to pick up his third personal.
And that's going to put West Holmes into the 1-on-1, and there's still just under 7 minutes to go, so there's a lot of time left. But if you're Coach Sykes, you've got to decide is the risk reward. Yeah, right. If you pressure, that's what really I think is where they're doing their best today. But if you foul, you're putting some pretty good free throw shooters at the free throw line.
Yeah, Blake Morrison's first free throw is up and in, and like you said, you have to pick your poison here. You want to be aggressive, but you don't want to just put them on the line either, as Blake Morrison knocks down both free throws, and that puts Morrison up to 11 points on the night. West Holmes leads 40-34.
Nice pass.
Pass inside again to Amon Thomas, who was able to finish this time. And
he's got good hands.
He does.
That was not an easy pass to catch, and he's got good hands.
Tigers now down 4, 40-36. West Holmes leads, and Shad
That's
Kramer
great hustle.
is all over the ball handler, and they're going to get a jump ball. Possession arrow is favoring the Tigers, so great hustle that time by Kramer, getting great pressure on that basketball.
Exactly, and he did it without fouling, and that was as you said, just real good defense.
And now the Tigers with what seems like it's early in the fourth, but this seems like a big possession here.
Yeah.
Here in the fourth quarter, they go back to Thomas inside, who is finished. Nice pass inside by Chunky Haney. Tigers now down by 2, 40-38. 6 minutes, 10 seconds to play in the fourth. And again, they go with the full court pressure.
Yep, a little run and trap right there. I like that. I like that energy. Even Ahmad Thomas out there pressuring. Good help.
West Holmes drives inside, and Miller, shot's no good, but he gets his own rebound.
Yeah, I think they were just a little bit quicker. Wanted the basketball a little bit more on that offensive board.
And now throw the ball down inside to Garrett Estep, who's posting up. Shots up and no good. Rebound comes down to Shad Kramer, who is on the run.
Now they've got a 3-on-2.
Chunky Haney goes up on the right side. Shots blocked away. That time by Peyton Miller. And like you said, Coach, they had numbers. And as we see the replay, Shad Kramer makes a good decision. Bounce pass.
Yeah, and, Nathaniel Haney take it up. The only chance West Holmes had was a block or a foul. So the worst is senior high gets the ball out of bounds underneath.
Timeout on the floor. I believe that was taken by Coach Hall at West Holmes, and the Tigers have cut this lead down to 2 points here in the fourth quarter. And the energy, and I know as Coach Sykes watches this game unfold, and you and I look at it and think like, wow, if you could play with this pressure,
right?
You know, for more of the game, it would be different. But right now, the Tigers have turned up the energy, and they have done a great job on the offensive boards. And you know, and now to their credit, West Holmes, which still has the lead, and they have been able, for the most part, to handle pressure. They've got to the free throw line, but right now it seems like a critical time for West Holmes if they want to hang on to this lead.
Well, you're right. The other concern, though, I know if you're senior high, you're not as good a free throw shooting team. So if it's going to come down to free throw shooting, that's not to your advantage late.
And D'Angelo Chapman shoots a corner three long, but the Tigers get the offensive rebound. Maurice Ware with the corner three. His is up and good, and the Tigers take the lead 41-40 with 5 minutes, 13 seconds to play here in the fourth quarter.
Now, is that the first lead tonight?
That, I believe, is the first lead tonight.
No, they jumped out 5-0, didn't they? Senior high did.
The first lead this half.
Yeah, at least I think since early in the game.
And Peyton Miller shoots a wild shot and is up and no good. Chunky Haney comes down with the rebound. And the Tigers with the lead now with 4 minutes, 45 seconds to play, up one.
And I think you're right. West Holmes was playing some zone there, trying to cut down that dribble penetration, which senior high had success at. Now senior high is going to make them come out and play them some man-to-man.
And Chad Kramer on the drive. A spin move in the lane is up and no good. Offensive rebound kicked around, and it is, looks like Peyton McKinney gets the rebound. Passes up ahead to Peyton Miller.
Oh, nice pass.
E-step inside all alone, and the Knights get the bucket inside, 42-41. West Holmes back in the lead.
He faked it to the corner. The defense went out, and he found the man underneath.
And Maurice Ware on the strong drive on the right side. They're going to call a foul, but it's going to be on the floor, and that is team foul number 4 now for the West Holmes Knights, and second foul on Peyton Miller.
So West Holmes can be aggressive. They only have 4 team fouls. Where senior high, you already have them at the 1-and-1.
And traveling violation called that time on Maurice Ware, who kind of got caught up. West Holmes double teamed him that time on the block, and he got his feet tangled up, and they called him for the walk. And West Holmes now with the 1 point lead and the ball, 42-41.
Again, good ball pressure by senior high.
And Chad Kramer possesses the ball and calls the timeout so the Tigers can retain possession. Great hustle. And Chad Kramer on the ground for that loose ball, and that's what Coach Sykes would love to see more of out of his Tigers.
And here, this being his last home game of his career at senior night, last home game. Well, I guess there's a chance if Bellevue can knock off Ontario, they would host the tournament game. But chances are it looks like it's going to be his last home game, and he's giving it everything he has. Right. I heard the other day a announcer talk about emptying the tank, and I think Chad Kramer this half is trying to empty the tank. And you want to get out there, you want to pressure, you just want to give your best effort each time out. And if that means they have a couple of timeouts left, if that means taking some timeouts to give these kids a break, so be it. But getting on the ground for a loose ball, right. As a coach, you certainly, if a kid's just a dead-eye shooter, and we've had the luxury of having so many of them, they're going to play.
Right. Absolutely.
But a lot of kids, you got to find your role. What is your niche, as you talked about, and that kid that's on the ground for a loose ball all the time, that's hard to keep him off the court.
Right. I remember it. I was thinking about Michael Jordan when he came back after he retired and played for the Wizards. I remember them interviewing him after a game. He was like, he said, I'm too old for this. He said, I'm diving on the ground, and I'm seeing these young guys standing up watching me dive for the ground. He said, that's when I knew my career was over.
Yeah.
Amon Thomas with the jump hook inside.
That was a
Tigers
good
back
move.
Up.
You saw he took a dribble to get his balance and to maybe get better positioning, and then went right over his left shoulder with a nice jump hook.
And Amon Thomas, you could tell he's a kid who just needs a little more confidence.
Yep.
He's got good footwork, a good athlete, got some size on him, a really good rebounder, probably the Tigers' best rebounder.
I would agree.
He is
consistently.
Absolutely. He just has been having some trouble finishing, and that time it is out of bounds as Peyton McKinney drives the lane, misses the shot. Thomas grabbed the rebound, but the officials say he had 1 foot on the in line.
Now, these kids are all tall to me, but Amon Thomas they have listed at 6'2". He looks tall. I know he's a big boy.
Right.
You're at what, 6'4", 6'5"?
Right.
How tall is he? Is he 6'2"?
To me, he looks that 6'2" looks about right. Seems about right to me. As West Holmes, Josh Schrock.
Nice pass.
No good. Maurice Ware goes up for the jam, and it is no good. Chad Kramer with the offensive rebound. It's no good. And Josh Schrock comes down with the rebound.
Well, right now with 2.5 minutes to go, every possession counts. You need to score right there, fellas.
Absolutely. And Maurice Ware would love to have that one back as West Holmes. That time it is Blake Morrison with the pull-up jump shot who gives West Holmes the lead again by 1, 44-43. We are coming down to the wire. 2 minutes, 15 seconds to play here in the fourth quarter.
Remember, West Holmes has fouls they can give.
All right, shots up, no good by Kramer. D'Angelo Chapman, who's been all over the offensive glass, gets another offensive rebound, puts it up and in. That gives him 13 points on the night. He leads the Tigers in scoring.
And you could just, his hands were well above everybody else on the tip and then on the grab.
Tigers ahead 45-41. And Blake Miller with the pass inside to Peyton McKinney. And shots up and no good by Garrett Estep. Offensive rebound by McKinney. And he goes up and he's fouled. And the energy from the West Holmes bench and crowd is up right now as they can smell this game. It is a 1-point game. The Tigers still have the lead, 45-44, and Peyton McKinney is at the line for 2.
And you've talked about the bench, and no season has been more important than this season with COVID.
And they are going to get, I think they're going to get Chad Kramer for a technical foul. And, a 1-point game.
Right.
And we talked about, he's playing with a lot of spirit. He's diving on the ground. He wants this game, you could tell. But you cannot let your emotions get the better of you. And that time, Chad Kramer done a little bit too much jawing to the referee, and he just wasn't having it. And he teed him up.
It's I just feel for Coach Sykes because, I tell you what, probably the best point guard I ever had the ability to coach, and just had the leadership ability, and now as the head coach, I don't know how he can comprehend this.
Right, right, absolutely. And Peyton McKinney knocks down his first 2, and these are his actual free throws on the foul, and he misses that one. And he's missed his second foul free throw, and now it's going to be West Holmes' possession. So, interesting possession. West Holmes gets the 2 technical shots. They get the 2 free throw shots, and now the ball. West Holmes now leads by 1, 45-46, 1 minute, 40 seconds to play. And, that could come back to really haunt the Tigers.
And a good substitution right there. Yeah. I thought Thomas was getting a little tired, number 1. But you would think that West Holmes is going to be a little bit patient right here with a 1-point lead and a minute and a half to go. So put in a little bit more quickness defensively. There's great hustle, great grab.
Great job by Chad Kramer, who's been playing great defense here the last few minutes. And the Tigers advance the ball ahead. That ball is knocked out of bounds by West Holmes. The Tigers will retain possession.
Now, one number on the scoreboard that we got to be careful with. Senior High's got 9 team fouls.
Right.
So any fouls now, West Holmes is going to be in the double bonus.
Absolutely. That ball is thrown out of bounds, and it is a turnover by the Tigers. Miscommunication between Miles Bradley and Maurice Ware. West Holmes has the possession and the lead, 46-45. 1 minute, 17 seconds to play.
Remember, the winner of this game goes third place in the conference. Loser goes into fifth place.
It's a place on the pedestal.
Great defense. Great defense.
Pressure,
Get on the
ball's loose
ground.
on the ground, and Maurice Ware covers the ball, and they're going to give the Tigers a timeout. And a full timeout that time after great possession and yet another technical foul, and I think they're going to kick Chad Kramer out. That specific official has had enough, and I think they're going to eject Kramer from the game after getting his second technical foul. And I'm not sure. It didn't look like anything was like there was nothing blatant, but he must have said a magic word in the direction of that official because he called it right away, which more importantly, though, gives a chance to score from the free throw line to West Holmes and possession with just over a minute to play.
Takes possession away from Mansfield Senior, so if I see it correctly, they're going to get 2 free throws and the ball out of bounds with 1:03 to go. And, and Chad's out of the game, and you had mentioned, which is very true, the reason they got possession right there is because of Chad Kramer's ability to get on the ground for a loose ball.
And that's tough. I don't think his play defensively on the ball the last few minutes are the reason why they have been able to had taken the lead at one point, and you had every reason to believe Coach Sykes calls the timeout. Well, now that timeout is burned because now you don't get the possession. And a timeout that you may very well need that leaves the Tigers with 1.
And West Holmes is going to send, I'm sure, their best free throw shooter to the free throw line, and Blake Morrison. And I have him at over a 70% shooter. Misses the first. But even make or miss right now, it's going to be a 1-possession game. There's a lot of time left. Senior high is going to be on defense. You do not have to foul.
Morrison, second shot up and good.
Play good defense right now.
So 1 minute to play. West Holmes will take the ball side out of bounds. The Knights are up 47-45 with 1 minute to play. And as we see Chad Kramer on the bench, I'm sure he is dejected on senior night and kicked out of ball game as Chunky Haney steps into the passing lane almost with the steal, giving great pressure.
West Holmes tonight is only 10 of 18 from the free throw line.
And a timeout called by Coach Don Hall of West Holmes with a 2-point lead, 54 seconds to play. And, they were in trouble, and I don't think, Coach, that they knew what they wanted to do offensively. They had all 5 timeouts available, so Coach Hall took that as an opportunity to say, okay, we get the ball on our side and let's try to figure out what we want to run. They have had some successful set plays from the side out of bounds.
Yeah, and I don't know if he feels – he's got 4 timeouts remaining still. I don't know if Coach Hall feels comfortable that can we hold the ball for 54 seconds. Obviously, senior high would foul before that 54 seconds. But I would think senior high would at least give up 20 seconds here at least. Can they hold the ball for that, or do they need to go to one of their sets? Again, the 5 out was so successful for them against this pressure. If they can hold the ball a little bit, they would get a good shot. Now they're going to go to the line and get a double bonus.
And they get the foul that time. Chunky Haney a little bit too aggressive, and they're going to call him for the push. And Peyton Miller is going to go to the line shooting 2 as the Tigers are in the double bonus. Miller's first shot is up and good. The Knights 3-point lead now, 48-45. And right now, the Tigers, without Chad Kramer as an offensive weapon, you've got to figure they're leaning on Maurice Ware as Miller misses the second shot. Tigers down by 3.
Still
50 seconds
time.
to play.
You don't need to go for a 3. Take the ball to the hole, get a good shot.
Maurice Ware handling the basketball, gets it out to Pearson for a left wing 3, and it's good. Tie ball game, 34 seconds to play here in the fourth quarter, 48-48. West Holmes with possession.
Now play solid defense. You can't foul.
Right. Tigers are in the double bonus, down to 20 seconds. West Holmes working the ball around.
And you see they're going to their 5 out. A lot of cutting to the ball, then right to the basket.
And Miles Bradley on the floor, and they are going to get are they going to give him the timeout? Or
Well, I think they're deciding
ball?
who had possession. I don't know. I don't know if Bradley had possession or if Blake Morrison.
They're going to give West Holmes the timeout, and I thought that was really close to a tie-up. But even so, I think the possession arrow is for West Holmes.
It was. I don't know. The camera probably had a better view, but just looking from where we were, I was blocked. I couldn't tell.
That was close, and I think Coach Hall may have called that timeout from the bench, and that may have been what saved them. And right now, Coach, so you got 10 and a half seconds to play. It looked, they were having trouble here.
Right.
You're Coach Hall. You've got limited, ball handling, at least in terms of being able to handle this type of pressure. What are you trying to do here in these last 10 seconds just to get a decent shot off?
Well, my thinking is, they don't have great ball handlers, but there's only 10 and a half seconds left,
right.
Okay? And once you catch the ball, you can hold it for a 5 count.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a problem. But I want to be aggressive and get to the hole. You're in the double bonus.
Right.
Are the officials going to make a call there? Who knows? But, look to be aggressive, look to dribble, penetrate, get to the basket, and maybe even get a shot up quickly enough where you have a chance for an offensive rebound.
Right. I think either way it's a good position for West Holmes because the game's tied. At worst, you go to overtime as long as you don't turn the basketball over.
Exactly.
Here. And they take the ball out of bounds, 10 and a half seconds to play. They get it back to Blake Morrison, who has the ball out front.
Good defense so far.
Double screen.
Good
3
defense.
seconds to play. Ball stolen away by Chapman. And jump ball. Possession arrow goes back to West Holmes after the great defensive possession. 0.8 seconds to play. Tie ball game, fourth quarter. And I'm going to see if they're going to put any time back on the clock. I don't think they are.
We're going to have more free basketball.
Absolutely.
On
more
free
live
basketball.
and free.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hey, Adam, how do you advertise this now? It's already free, so Adam. This is his second game in Pete Henry today.
Well, he lives here.
Third game today overall.
Yeah, he lives here. He's got a cot in the locker room.
He does.
So 0.8 seconds to play. West Holmes ball side out of bounds. It's almost got to be a catch. Enough time for a catch and shoot. Not much else.
No.
And they got Maurice Ware on the basketball.
Good idea.
Blake Morrison
pressure
takes the
ball
out of bounds. He's going to throw it around the rim. DeAndre Thomas had a shot at it, and the ball goes dead. And that's the end of regulation. We are headed for more live and free basketball, and we're going to step away and take a break right here at the OH Report.
Lender, craftsman, dog dead. We're more than our job titles, and you're more than an account number. The personal attention we provide comes from a promise to serve you with respect and compassion. By being responsive to your questions and taking time to understand your needs and goals, we give you more than just a place to bank. That's the more you can expect from Park National Bank. Find John or a banker near you at parknationalbank.com. Park National Bank, where you mean more.
Hi, I'm John Mark Young, a financial advisor and owner with Whitaker Myers Wealth Managers. We believe in the financial freedom and power of living debt-free. Visit our website at www.whitakerwealth.com to learn more and schedule a meeting.
And overtime is just about to start here at Pete Henry Gymnasium, 48-48 in the first overtime period with an extra 4 minutes to play. Tigers with possession. Chunky Haney running the point. Miles Bradley out front to Maurice Ware. Maurice Ware kicks it out to D'Angelo Chapman for a three, and it is good. Tigers take the lead 51-48 here in the overtime. 3 minutes, 32 seconds to play.
That was about as good as half-court offense
Yes.
as I've seen them run.
Absolutely.
That was good ball movement, good people movement, good shot.
And Chapman stepped up, and like you said earlier, Coach, he's got a nice-looking stroke. Stepped right into it with confidence, knocked it down, gives the Tigers a 3-point lead here. And West Holmes, who had been playing well offensively, right now trying to get back into it. They take advantage of the mismatch. They get Thomas inside on Haney, and the shot is blocked that time by D'Angelo Chapman, and they're going to call a foul. Whoa. Well, that's a tough one.
That was
That's a
that was tough. But West Holmes did a great job of posting up the smaller, chunky Haney, and D'Angelo had to come over and help. If not on the first shot, he had to come over on the second shot.
And I think their offense, like you said, Coach, they run that four out and they try to look for the mismatch with Chunky Haney on the court. You can just about imagine as Thomas gets it up and makes the first one, whoever he's guarding is probably going to be the one posting up. And that time it was DeAndre Thomas.
So how do you offset that? Well, how about maybe a little bit better pressure on the ball to make the pass much tougher in there. I think that time it was just too easy of a post entry.
Right. And the Tigers still lead by 1. 3 minutes to play here in the first overtime period, 51-50.
And the last time down, outstanding half-court offense. Let's see if they can run that again here.
Maurice Ware on the drive kicks it over, and that was Blake Morrison from West Holmes who stepped in the passing lane for the steal, but he stepped out of bounds, so Tigers will retain possession here out of bounds under.
Still only 4 team fouls on West Holmes, so they can play aggressively.
And Chunky Haney takes the ball out of bounds, gets it into Miles Bradley, who takes it back out top. And you can tell they're a little bit out of sync without Shad Kramer in the lineup. But, this Tiger team is more than capable of scoring. They've got some guys that can put the ball in the basket.
Yeah, they do. They do. Be aggressive.
And they're going to get Josh Schrock with a little bit too much hands that time. Like you said, Coach, they only got 14 fouls. They can be a little bit aggressive on the ball. And that is Schrock's first personal and only the 15th foul against West Holmes. The Tigers take the ball out of bounds. And Maurice Ware is going to set the offense.
Coach Sykes is calling a set play, so looks like maybe a little clear out for Maurice.
Maurice on the right side. Cross-court pass to Anthony Pearson for 3, and it is good.
Outstanding look. It was a set play, a clear out for Maurice. West Holmes did a good job of doubling, helping on the baseline. He found the open shooter in the corner.
Absolutely. 54-50. Tigers lead by 4. Just under 2 minutes to play here in the overtime period.
Big possession if you're West Holmes.
Right. They get the ball down inside to Josh Garrett, who gets double teamed right away, out to Miller for 3.
I think that was partially blocked.
And a scrum for the basketball. The ball goes out of bounds. Officials are looking at each other, and they're going to call a jump ball. Possession arrow is favoring the West Holmes Knights, so West Holmes will retain possession. And the officials kind of looked at each other when that ball went out of bounds, and Coach Sykes is going to call a timeout here with the Tigers have a 4-point lead here with 1 minute 38 seconds to play. West Holmes now with possession of the basketball, and they are right now, Coach, struggling to get things get an offense ran. But when they do get the ball inside, you have to remember the Tigers are still in double bonus, and they can still try to get to the free throw line.
But with that being said, again, it's a risk reward. Do you go to the zone, which has been good to them at times this year? Well, I don't think they've played zone at all tonight. They've played man-to-man, and the last couple of possessions they've been playing without fouling. They've been playing hard, and you've got a 4-point lead. You've got 2 possession lead. And as you've told me many a times, which is so true, you don't play not to lose, you play to win.
Absolutely.
So their man-to-man has been their strength, so I would assume they're going to come out and continue to play man-to-man. And, Do they switch ball screens if there's a ball screen? Do they just double if Haney gets matched up on a low post player? You know, that's something that maybe they're going to talk about here. But minute 38, I'm sure the big part is fellas, continue to play hard. It was so, you know, it's so much fun to watch a game like that last possession where there were players from both teams on the ground for a loose ball. See young kids do that is just so much fun to watch.
Absolutely. And right now, defensively for the Tigers, you can't play not to foul. You just got to play. You just got to play. You got a 4-point lead, just as you said, and they set up a backdoor play, and Maurice Ware
Maurice does a nice job.
Very well.
Yes.
And now West Holmes, as Morrison puts up a 3, and it is good. Blake Morrison, that gives him 17 points on the night, and that is a big-time shot by Morrison, who scored 23 points, as we talked about, against Madison last night, hit 3 threes, and that is a big-time shot.
That was. Very capable shooter, and just had a little bit of room right there and knocked down a big shot. Now, you know, if you're senior high, you know West Holmes is going to have to come out and play man. Mm-hmm. I don't think they have the ability to give you full court pressure. Now, if you're going to be a little soft with the ball, they'll be able to take advantage of it. Right. But, you know, minute 18 is a lot of time to just hold the ball right here. So, you know, does senior high go to a set? Remember coming out of the halftime set, they ran a little bit of flex and got a nice jump shot for D'Angelo Chapman from about 10 feet. Right. That might be something they go back to.
Right, and starting the overtime session, they also, what they've done here the last couple possessions, put the ball in Maurice Ware's hands, and he's been able to drive, and he hasn't forced shots. He's kicked the ball to the corner to Pearson last time for a 3. So I think they're going to put the ball in Ware's hands.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And kind of let him create. But West Holmes is trying to give a little full court pressure here to the Tigers.
Which I guess is smart because they have fouls to give.
Absolutely. And the Tigers break the pressure, they get it into the front court. Maurice Ware with the ball on the wing. 1 minute to play. Tigers up 54-53.
And if you're West Holmes, you don't have to foul right now.
And they do give a foul here on West Holmes out front.
Yeah, I think that foul is because the young man just saw Maurice going around him.
Right.
You know, and you can't give up. You don't want to give up a layup right now.
Right. And again, they had foul to give, and I think on the next foul, that is 16 fouls on the night. Next one will put the Tigers on the line for the 1-and-1. They throw the ball inside to Maurice Ware, who is going to be called for the travel. And boy, that's a tough call.
I didn't see it. I was blocked off.
Yeah,
but
that is a tough call.
That was a tough pass to come down with.
Yeah, that was a high pass, and Maurice went up and grabbed it well. He just came down, shuffled his feet. Most times officials are going to give you a little bit of rhythm like that, but not in this case. 52 seconds to play. Tigers up 54-53 here in the overtime period.
Nice backdoor.
Back cut by Miller, blocked away by D'Angelo Chapman.
He made a nice back cut and had a layup there if it wasn't for D'Angelo coming from the weak side.
And D'Angelo Chapman, who has been as engaged as I have seen him all season on both ends of the floor. And it is McKinney with the 3, and it is good as West Holmes takes the lead, 56-54, 35 seconds to play here in the overtime period. Tigers are now down 2.
And senior high has 1 timeout left. He's looking to spread things out a little bit, give some room for Maurice. Another
Ware
kick.
Over to Chunky Haney, who drives inside. He loses the basketball, but it's going to be tipped. And the Tigers will retain possession. 19 seconds to play, and Coach Sykes is going to call his final timeout. And, you know, this is a time, Coach, as the Tigers are down 2, 19 seconds to play. Tigers are going to have the ball out of bounds under. They have had some things go well for them, but I think one of the things that have been the best thing they've had is the offensive rebounding here in the second half.
That's why I was wondering if Marquise wouldn't put maybe Amon Thomas back in with D'Angelo, with Maurice Ware. So, you know, get that second chance opportunity. Because if you're senior high right now, you want to get the best look you can as quick as you can. and then crash the offensive boards.
You have got to sell out on this offensive rebound here, and down 2, you're not looking to, you're not looking to run any time off the clock or anything. You're trying to get the best shot available. They may get a look off of a set play, but if not, I think they'll get the ball in Ware's hands, let him create.
Yeah.
But also he's got to leave time so they can attack the offensive board. But here's a set play. Tigers taking the ball out of bounds. 19 seconds to play in the overtime. They get it into Maurice Ware out top. And
they've had some success, clearing out one side.
There's isolation. Nice move by Ware. Shots up, no good. Maurice Bradley with the rebound, and he's going to get bumped. And that foul is going to be on McKinney, and that is a 17 foul for West Holmes, and that is going to put Miles Bradley to the free throw line.
Now,
I didn't
think Maurice Ware, there was no way he was going to be able to get to the basket.
Yeah.
There was 3 or 4 red jerseys there, but he found a way to get to the basket, just couldn't finish. But Miles Bradley with great hustle.
Shots up and no good, and I think they're going to get Maurice Ware with the foul as Josh Schrock comes away with the big rebound. 6.4 seconds to play. West Holmes is up 2, and they are going to the line to shoot 2.
And you got to let the senior high players know that they're out of timeouts, so let's get a rebound right here, and you got to go with it.
And Josh Schrock is at the line. First one's up, and bounces around the rim, and it is good.
That hit every part of the rim right there.
Right.
This is the big one. Still a one-possession game if they can miss and senior high can rebound. There we go. Get it out
Shots
and go.
No good, and Anthony Pearson, Tigers down 3 with 3 seconds to play. Chunky Haney for 3, and he's going to be fouled on the three-point attempt. And Chunky Haney will go to the line for 3 with 0.1 seconds left to play. And I was like you, Coach. I thought Pearson was going to go ahead and take the 3.
I thought he had a good look.
And he kicked it over to Chunky Haney, who went up with it. And
is there pressure on this right here?
Are you kidding me?
Oh, my gosh. For a sophomore?
Haney's first one's up, and it is good.
If he drains all 3 of these, I mean, this is a lot of pressure for anybody, let alone a sophomore.
Coach Hall calls a timeout to try to ice the sophomore here at the line. And the West Holmes now leads by 2. Chunky Haney is at the line. He's got 2 more to shoot. And, the missed free throw down here. And like you said, I thought Pearson had a really good look here on the left wing for 3 as their best three-point shooter. But Chunky Haney, at this point in the season, yes, he's a sophomore, but he has played a lot of minutes.
Yeah, he has.
He's played a lot of minutes.
He has, but, that's just a tough situation to be in right here. I think it's a good idea of West Holmes calling the timeouts to freeze him a little bit.
So fans, please stick around. After the ball game, we will have our player of the game, and I think it's still up in the air a little bit here, Coach, as this game is in the balance with Chunky Haney here at the line. Got 2 more to shoot, 0.1 seconds to play. Tigers down 2.
If that guy's up there reading a book right now, then he's
and
there
Haney
we go.
Knocks down the second. Now there's no way he's going to miss the third one. I mean, he's in a rhythm now, and Coach Hall is going to call another timeout, which is a good call because he stepped right into that one, and that one looked good. He looked comfortable.
Now, I don't know. I think we were in this situation once. I was when we were playing down in Tennessee in the Arby's Classic.
I remember that.
But I don't know it's like a field goal kicker. What do you talk to him? Do you say a word to him? Do you ignore him?
Yeah.
Do you say I have confidence in you, or what do you say to the young man?
I absolutely don't say anything. All we talk about is what we're going to do in the second overtime. That's what we're talking about.
Be positive.
Yeah, we're in the second overtime. we're going to do this. That's all we're talking about during that timeout in the second overtime. I don't even make eye contact with the kid. So Chunky Haney, the sophomore, is up for what is essentially the game. Either we go into overtime or West Holmes is going to walk away. Well, there is 0.1 seconds to play, so theoretically maybe there could be a tip.
They're going to use their last timeout.
Their last timeout here just to put a little bit more ice on the sophomore. But I tell you what, the way he plays and, the type of moxie he plays with, just to be on the court as small as he is, number one.
Right.
And then playing at the varsity level for this program says a lot about the kid. Now,
no question.
That doesn't mean he can't miss this free throw, but it does mean that, he is capable of taking and making big shots. So, and.
Well, hey, listen, I saw it a week ago when he hit 2 threes against Lexington late in the game. I believe one maybe was to tie and the other one was to take the lead.
Right.
But they were 2 threes in a matter of, maybe 3, 4, 5 possessions. So, he's got ice in his veins, but there's
well, and right now, what you don't want to happen, you do want to try to get a tip in if he does miss it. But again, you don't want to foul. There's so many things you don't want to do. And Chunky Haney puts it up and puts it in. Chunky Haney, the sophomore, with ice water in his veins, sends this game into double overtime. And we are going to step away and come back with more live and free action right here on the OH Report.
London.
And we're back. Second overtime has begun. The Tigers control possession as we have a timeout on the floor for, I believe, what is an injury.
What our people missed, just the jump ball, and D'Angelo got the tip. It was going out of bounds, and Maurice Ware went to save it and went into the stands. And, unfortunately, with a limited crowd, there was nobody to catch and nobody to buffer his fall. And I don't think it's real serious, but it's serious enough to,
he has to come out because the officials stopped the play. But after they inbound the ball, believe me, Maurice Ware is going to be coming right back into this ball game. Inbound pass into Pearson.
Just like the first overtime, Senior High gets the first possession.
And Chunky Haney, who's got to be filled with confidence, pull-up jumper. 15-footer is good for Chunky Haney, who has taken over this ball game. Tigers lead 59-57. 3.5 minutes to play here in the second overtime.
And when you're right, that's just all confidence. He just wanted to go one-on-one.
And a steal that time by Miles Bradley, who just took the ball away. They look ahead to Anthony Pearson, who gets the ball out on the right wing.
And a great hustle. Two white jerseys on the floor that time to get the ball.
And the Tigers running the offense, and Chunky Haney now is the man of the hour here for the Tigers. Gets the ball over to the wing to Pearson as the Tigers are running a little set offense.
Looks like
trying
a
to get
set play for Chunky.
Three-pointers up and no good. Miles Bradley grabs the rebound, and he gets hit on the arm And Miles is going to go to the line for the 1-and-1 as that gives the Knights 9 team fouls. So Tigers run a pretty fluent offense that time, and now they're going to get Maurice Ware back into the ball game for Amon Thomas.
And I think a smart call by Coach Sykes. Who has the hot hand? Who made the 3 free throws with 0.1 seconds?
Absolutely.
Who hit the shot off the dribble? Well, then he sets up a play for him to get a good look.
Absolutely.
And finally the young man missed.
Right. So Miles Bradley here shooting the front end of the 1-and-1 is up and good. Tigers lead 60 to 50 seconds to 57. 2 minutes, 52 seconds to play in the second overtime. And Miles Bradley is up for his second free throw. From the left is up and no good. Tigers fight for the offensive rebound, but it comes down to Blake Morrison of West Holmes.
Remember in the first overtime, Senior High built a 4-point lead. Now West Holmes going to go to the line shooting 2. But remember, it was pretty close together. 2 big threes by West Holmes.
Right,
so,
right.
They're not going to go away even at a 3-point deficit with 2 minutes and 44 seconds to go in the overtime.
Right, and right now Blake Morrison is – he is under tremendous pressure.
Right.
He is their primary ball handler. He is the guy who's going to have the ball in his hands. He's probably going to be shooting a lot of free throws here as he puts up that one and knocks it down, cuts the Tiger lead to 2, and that gives Morrison 18 points on the night. But he has got to do a good job of handling the basketball if they want to come back and win this game.
And right now, with the 10 players on the court right now, nobody's in foul trouble.
Mm-hmm.
We've had a lot of fouls, played a lot of basketball, but nobody in foul trouble right now.
And Chunky Haney has the ball in the left corner. Haney goes up and turns the ball over, and it is Garrett Estep who takes the ball away from Haney, and West Holmes now has the basketball down 1, 2 minutes, 20 seconds to play in the second overtime.
It looks like they're coming back to their 5 out. Remember, they posted up Haney in the last overtime to get their first bucket.
And right now they're doing a lot of screens trying to find him, and it's Miller on the drive. He goes up, no good. D'Angelo Chapman rips down the rebound, and Anthony Pearson is on the run. Pearson in the lane. He loses control of it for a second, but they're going to call him for a travel. They're going to call him for a travel. He lost control of the basketball and then regained possession, and they called him for a walk. West Holmes will take the ball out of bounds, and the Tigers look like they're going to apply a little bit of full court pressure here to Blake Morrison.
Looks like Maurice Ware recovered from that quick injury that he had.
Good to see. Good to see.
Yeah, they're going to need him in this overtime.
And the Tigers putting a lot of pressure on the basketball. D'Angelo Chapman out top, and it's Peyton Miller out top against Chapman. Passes it over to Garrett Estep. And a little flex action here. They get the ball down inside to Miller against Chunky Haney. And they're looking to post up Chunky when they can find him. And it is Josh Schrock knocks down a huge 3.
When they need a big 3, they come up with it, don't they?
Absolutely. West Holmes takes a 2-point lead, 62-60. 1 minute, 13 seconds to play here in the second overtime.
Now each team was given 1 timeout for the new overtime, so.
D'Angelo Chapman, quick trigger on the 3, no good. Maurice Ware, offensive board, he puts it up, no good. Amon Thomas can't get it, and West Holmes grabs possession. Chunky Haney with the pickpocket in the front court, and he is going to be fouled. And I think they're going to call that on the shot, but either way, he's shooting 2.
Right.
Because that's going to be the 10th team foul on West Holmes.
And now he's thinking, geez, there's 49 seconds left. 2 free throws, that's nothing. That's nothing.
Right, and the Tigers now down to need these free throws from Haney. But like you said, Coach, it's 49 seconds to play. No pressure at all for the sophomore.
Yeah, either way, it's going to be a 1-possession game, and or it's going to be tied. So Senior High just plays solid defense. They've been playing pretty good defense.
And Haney's second shot is up and good. Ties the ball game again with 49 seconds to play. 62 apiece. West Holmes with possession here in the second overtime. And Blake Morrison handling the pressure now, trying to get a good look for the Knights. is Josh Schrock. And McKinney pulls out the three, and he hits it, knocks down another big three for West Holmes.
My God.
From the right corner, 65-62. West Holmes leads, 20 seconds to play, and Maurice Ware is going to be fouled on the drive. He is going to be fouled on the drive, and I think Maurice had his mind made up that he was going to take that ball to the basket.
And I was going to say, you know, they're down 3 with 20 seconds to go, now 18.2. You don't have to go for a 3,
right.
But that was a tough one to put the officials in right there. You don't know which way they were going to go.
And
now you're going to have to get your full court pressure.
And Maurice Ware puts up the first shot. It is up and no good. West Holmes still up 3 with 18 seconds to play. Maurice Ware at the line shooting his second.
And if you're senior high, you want to keep the ball out of Morrison's hand. You don't want to foul him.
Right. Second shot is up and no good. McKinney grabs the rebound. Now the Tigers are going up, and they've got a foul. And Chunky Haney gives a foul for Blake Morrison, who will head to the line and shoot 2. And one thing you can say, Coach, both teams have really gave a great effort tonight.
Yeah, they have. They have. And both teams have come up with big, big plays when they had to.
Mm-hmm. Definitely big threes by West Holmes down the stretch.
Oh, no question.
Blake Morrison steps up, knocks it down, gives West Holmes a 4-point lead, 66-62, 13 seconds to play. And Morrison, who's now up to 21 points as he knocks down the second free throw.
Now if you're senior high, you got to score, and you still got your timeout left. To get
10
in
seconds
here.
to play. Chunky Haney pulls up for 3. No good, and that ball landed out of bounds. And 6 seconds to play. And we are going to have West Holmes going to have the basketball with a 5-point lead here in the second overtime, and the Tigers have to give a foul. And Maurice Ware again fouls Blake Morrison. And we talked about Morrison is going to have to be the primary ball handler down the stretch, and he done a really good job of handling pressure.
Now you can tell that the players know who they want the ball, and they want him in the ball in his hands in the closing seconds. But does a great job of handling the offense. But so many of their players came up with big shots.
And Blake Morrison, first shot is up and good. And Blake Morrison a point away from matching his total from the game last night against Madison.
And, folks, he's a junior, so
absolutely,
we're going to see him again next year.
Blake Morrison, junior guard, and Chunky Haney pulls up the 3 and is short. And that's the end of the ball game after 2 overtimes. West Holmes comes into Mansfield Senior, gets a 7-point win, 69-62. We're going to step away, come back, and wrap this thing up. We are watching high school basketball live and free on the OH Report.
Craftsman, Dog Dead. We're more than our job titles, and you're more than an account number. The personal attention we provide comes from a promise to serve you with respect and compassion. By being responsive to your questions and taking time to understand your needs and goals, we give you more than just a place to bank. That's the more you can expect from Park National Bank. Find John or a banker near you at parknationalbank.com. Park National Bank, where you mean more.
Hi, I'm John Mark Young, a financial advisor and owner with Whitaker Myers Wealth Managers. We believe in the financial freedom and power of living debt-free. Visit our website at www.whitakerwealth.com to learn more and schedule a meeting.
And welcome back to Pete Henry Gymnasium as West Holmes Knights come away with the win in double overtime, 69-62. As we take a look at these final stats here, Coach, West Holmes finishes the night 14 of 42 on field goals. The Tigers are 16 of 41. And for threes, that's a big one that I see right away. That's the one that jumps out at me. West Holmes 7 of 15. And the Tigers 6 of 24 from three.
But 7 of 15, that's great percentage in itself.
Mm-hmm.
But they were just so big.
Right.
I mean, the two in
Seems
the
like
first
every
overtime were just when they needed it.
Mm-hmm.
The one in the second overtime gave them momentum right away. And, they stepped in and they shot them with no hesitation.
Right.
But just key 3-point shots.
Yeah, and if you remember early in the game, like we were talking about, the Tigers led early, really early, but what gave them the lead was a three, I believe, from McKinney.
Mm-hmm.
That's what gave them their initial lead in the game. So they weren't just shooting a lot of threes, but like you said, they took shots, made big shots, and they just seemed to be big. West Holmes comes away with the rebound edge, 49-40. The Tigers forced 20 turnovers, which is a good night. They turn it over 11. Now, for them, that's good. They average 14 turnovers a game themselves, so they took care of the basketball a little bit better tonight, and they made more free throws than West Holmes.
And, rebounding, we talked at halftime. They had, I think 2, maybe 3 offensive rebounds.
Right.
They ended up the night with 18, much more aggressive in the second half. I know senior high still has the tournament to go, and we all hope that area teams are successful come tournament time. But, Amon Thomas with a good off season, which, all these kids were deprived of this year, but a good summer, I think he's going to be something inside. Yeah. He showed a good offensive move the one time. He's consistently been a good rebounder.
Right.
A good summer, and I think he's just going to be even a better player, obviously, as he gets older.
And you mentioned it earlier, Coach, about Amon, about the fact that he has such good hands. Now that's one thing that people don't see as a great skill for a basketball player to have, especially a high school basketball player. But you get a kid who's got great hands, who can catch the ball in traffic. That is a tremendous skill. So,
and some people think it's just, athletes. But no. Some people play with their hands up. Some people play with their hands down.
Right.
Good shooters are moving off screens without the ball, or moving off screens with their hands in ready position. So they just have to catch it. We always talk about have your fingers up. So, the better athletes are better at it, but there's also technique to it. You've got to be ready. You've got to attack the basketball. And he seems to do that well.
Right, and the Tigers now with now under 500 for the season. Mm-hmm. And one thing about the tournament, Coach, the reason why I love the tournament is because it's a second season.
Right.
No matter and I've always been, whether it's went good or bad during the season, as a coach, you can tell your kids we are doing it all over again. All right. So as we get ready here for our player of the game. And we're gonna get him mic'd up here and ready to go.
Actually, I have to come up one step with me. Right here, right there.
Yeah, and we're gonna get the player of the game tonight, and it is Blake Morrison from West Holmes. Blake Morrison, 23 points tonight. And what we thought was a tremendous job handling pressure down the stretch. So, Blake, you guys come in here and get a tremendous win on the road, and what is your final regular season game. And what were you guys thinking? What was your mindset coming into the ball game tonight?
We just had to come in and handle pressure. We knew that they were going to be pressing us the whole game, and that was really it. We just had to come in and handle pressure, and lately we haven't been doing that, and we haven't been playing as hard. So tonight we really wanted to get back to the basics, and I think we did that tonight.
Yeah, and we saw how down the stretch where you were the primary ball handler, it's like they wanted to get the ball into your hands, and it seemed like you relished that. You stepped up and made some big free throws tonight. What was it like there in the fourth quarter, or even through the last couple overtimes where you had to be the primary ball handler against that pressure?
It's always tough when you're playing against athletic kids, and you just got to step up and handle the pressure. And really, when you step up to that free throw line, you got to have all the confidence in the world and just knock it down.
Now, you personally, 23 points tonight, and you had 23 points last night against Madison. Are you feeling in an offensive rhythm here, getting ready for the tournament?
Yeah, we're warming up a little bit. Hopefully we can stay warm for the tournament here.
Yeah. Now, coming into this game, and you guys have had some good games, and you've had some games where I'm sure you wanted to play better, but it seems like to us your three-point shooting was so timely tonight from everybody, from Peyton McKinney and yourself and other guys knocking down threes at the most opportune times. Do you consider that just a part of who you guys are, big-time shot makers in crunch time?
Yeah, that's definitely – I don't know. There's something about us this year. We've been in a bunch of these close games, and somehow we always come out on top and manage to hit the right shots at the right time, and it's a lot of timely shooting for us this year.
Well, that's great. Now, going into the tournament here, Blake, you guys have won your last two games after dropping the two previous games. What's the outlook going into the tournament? What are you guys expecting, and what do you want to see happen?
We play a really good Maysville team. Respect everyone, fear no one, but we just got to go in with confidence, and winning these past two games, well, losing the two games prior to these past two was, our confidence was down, but then these last two games we really stepped up, picked up our confidence, and I think we're getting ready for the tournament now.
Well, that's great. Well, congratulations to Blake Morrison, our Whitaker-Myers player of the game, 23 points in a big double overtime win over the Mansfield Tigers. Well, good luck to you, Blake, going into the tournament and the rest of the season.
Thank you very much.
And as we finish up here tonight, and Blake had, as we said, it was a great game for him, and West Holmes was clearly come in ready to play tonight. I thought from the beginning, Coach, that they were on a mission, and I thought the Tigers, the second half, came out and played better. But I think West Holmes tonight, I think they just wanted it a little bit more.
I think you did. They made the big plays at the end, but I think we in Mansfield are going to be happy to see Blake get out of town. Right. 46 points in two nights against the two Mansfield schools. Right. So it'll be nice to see him leave. Unfortunately for us, fortunately for him and West Holmes, he's going to be back for another year. He seems like a very pleasant young man, but sure. You were dead on with him. He handled the ball, but it was him and a couple other players that really made the key plays when they had to. And he made the point that they played a lot of close games this year, and you look at their scores, it seems like about every game was a 3 or 4 point difference. Right. So they've been in these situations quite a bit, but again, this could have gone either way. Regulation, first overtime, and in the second overtime, it does go West Holmes' way.
Yeah, and Coach, I have said, I listen to a lot of talk radio, and this era is big about competitive, and this team's, how do you rank this and how do you rank that? Right. And I've always said to myself, I said, if I ever get an opportunity to put Coach Collins on the spot. I always wanted to do this. I said, Coach Collins has coached some great teams.
Had a few great players, haven't he?
He's had some great players. And the only thing I've ever wanted to know is I was around the 91 year with Jamie Fike.
Right.
That championship team. And obviously, the Tiger team of 99. Oh, so if you had to compare those two teams that you coached both of them, head to head, Who wins that ball game?
Boy, whichever team I'm not coaching, I think. But let me be honest with you. Yeah, I've been very fortunate to be around some great players, but also some great assistant coaches. And before you became the head coach here, you were an assistant for myself and much of the staff. And when you have good people like that, it makes life so much more enjoyable. But there's no question about that 99 Mansfield Senior High team, and the unfortunate with Eva Sykes, and she was like the mother to all the entire team. Absolutely. She was just a great lady, and everything that we had to go through just before we played Cincinnati Moeller, but still had our shots in that game against a very good Moeller team. Right. Had our chances, had the lead, but I don't know about you, but as I get older and older and think back, I still think about our losses more than the wins.
I'm the same.
And
I am the same. And I think that, and that was a great pivot, by the way, Coach, on that question. That was a great job by you.
Oh, is that?
But we are going to wrap it up tonight. We just witnessed a tremendous ball game. West Holmes Knights comes in and gets the win. And I want to thank our crew tonight, and Brian Phelps on camera, Adam Thompson, our great director, and we get the boss tonight on a camera for the OH Report. And for Gregg Collins, I'm Effie James, and you have been watching boys high school basketball live and free on the OH Report. See you next time.